Do you think that Patrick Mahomes might be in today's top 5 cards? He probably is. And we've got some other great football and basketball players as well. We'll tell you which cards are going up the most in today's top 5.
My name is Geoff Wilson. By day, I invest in tech companies. And at night, I invest in sports cards. Join me and my team as we help you profit from the hobby we all love.
Hello, sports card investors, and welcome to another Top 5 Cards. Guys, I am pumped up. I am feeling good. Just came off of a fantastic weekend at the Culture Collision show here in Atlanta. The card show was packed, guys. Many first-time people at their first card show ever. Singles were selling hot. It was a really good thing to see. I will also be at the Burbank Card Show the weekend after next in Ontario, California. If you're anywhere in that area, get there because that is going to be a really good show. Of course, today's Top 5 is sponsored by Whatnot. Whatnot has awesome live auctions every day and night starting at just $1 for packs, boxes, breaks, singles, and more. It's a lot of fun, and if you scan the QR code on your screen or use the special link in our show description below, you'll get $10 in free credit when you sign up for Whatnot. All right, guys, the overall sports card market seems to be heating up a little bit here at the beginning of the year, just as I was hoping it would do. Taking a look at the market pulse by market movers, the SCI 500 index of the 500 most prominent sports cards is up a little more than 2% over the last week. It is also up on the year as a whole. This is a good sign at the start of the year. We'll see if this continues. I don't know for sure if it will continue or not. It's getting a little bounce right now because of all of the interest around football cards. But hey, it is much better to start the year going up than going down as a lot of last year did. It is a positive sign. Now, let's talk about some of the cards going up the most. It's time for today's Top 5. We're starting today's list with a cold card, and this one is a painful one, guys. It's Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. I say it's painful because his cards were really popular over the summer and coming into the football season, so I know a lot of people were buying his cards. But the reason why we always start our top 5 hot cards list with a cold card is because it is an important reminder that what is hot today may not be hot tomorrow, and what is going up in price today may fall in price in the weeks or months ahead. In the case of Josh Allen, the expectations on this guy were so high entering the season. It was basically Super Bowl or bust. And that expectation was built into his card prices. So when he got knocked out of the playoffs early and didn't look great doing it this year, that was a disappointment in the eyes of many sports card investors, and therefore his cards started to fall in price. And I'll show you what I mean here. We're looking from the start of the football season. So we're going back to September 8th through today. In market movers, we're looking at 3 of his popular rookie cards, his Donruss base, Optic base, and Prism base, all from 2018, all in PSA 10. And you can see how all of these have trended down slightly, but in the recent, week or so since he got knocked out of the playoffs a little bit, a couple of weeks now, you can see these started to trend down a little bit more sharply. And overall, since the start of the football season, all 3 of these cards are down somewhere between about 30% and about 40%. Now, I'll tell you guys, the sports card world is full of overreaction. I actually think this offseason might be a decent time to buy Josh Allen cards. That's just my personal opinion, but the fact that his cards are getting so beat up in price, there may be a buying window because he's still probably one of the top young quarterbacks, and he's still probably one of the guys that's going to be very hyped up heading into next season. Now let's talk about cards going up. And in the number 5 spot, we're starting with Jonathan Isaac. It's good to see him on this list. The Orlando Magic center made his debut this season after missing major time with an ACL injury. He last played in front of Orlando fans 3 years ago, and he hadn't suited up for the Magic in 2 years. Now, he had been one of the league's better defenders before getting hurt, and people are now clearly excited about his return. You can see that in his card prices. I brought up two of Jonathan Isaac's 2017 rookie cards on the screen here, his Prism Base and his Prism Silver in PSA 10. And look at the last 30 days of these cards, guys. Those are really, really nice trend lines. These cards are up incredibly from a percentage standpoint. His Prism Silver is up 102%. His Prism Base is up 239%. Of course, that was an inexpensive card to begin with. You could have picked up his Prism Base for as little as, get this, $8 30 days ago. And that card most recently is selling for $35. That's a pretty nice flip opportunity over the course of the last 30 days. The only reason why Jonathan Isaac is not higher on the list is there's not that many cards of him out there that are transacting. But the cards of his that are out there on the market, they're hot right now. The number 4 hot card on the list, it might surprise you. It's Joe Burrow. Now that might surprise you because of course he's coming off of a loss, and truthfully, in the weeks ahead, I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Burrow's cards found their way onto our cold card of the week. But at the moment, if we look over the last 30 days, his cards are still amongst the hottest of any out there because his cards went on an incredible price run all throughout the month of January as his play was really, really good leading up to the AFC Championship game this past Sunday, which the Bengals lost a really close game, as you guys know, to the Chiefs. That was an absolute thriller. And man, it was tough to see that happen to that Cincinnati team, but congrats to the Chiefs for the victory. Now let me show you what Burrow has done here in the card market over the course of the last 30 days. I've got 6 of his different popular rookie cards up here on the screen, everything from the very high-end Contenders Rookie Ticket Auto and PSA 10 on down to his more affordable rookie cards, such as his 2020 Donruss Base PSA 10. I got the whole gamut of cards here. And if we look by price change by percentage, this is interesting to look at because you can see over the last 30 days from the beginning of the year, these have mainly been heating up, especially leading up to the AFC Championship game. But then look, the cards that have had sales in the last day or two since the AFC Championship game, you can see they're starting to dip here right at the end of the graph. So although the last 30 days is still very far up for Burrow's cards, the last 24 to 48 hours has not been so kind. So at the moment, Burrow's cards have kind of peaked out. We're probably going to see some more downward slide in the weeks ahead, but for now, he's still on the hot list for an incredible last 30 days of performance for his cards. Now to a player who's on the hot list and will likely remain there at least for the next week or two, Patrick Mahomes. It is great to see this guy back in the top 5, and my goodness, what a gritty performance over the weekend. Did that guy have a chip on his shoulder with all the Joe Burrow hype or what? The way that guy just gritted it out, missing his top 3 wide receivers, had a lot of things stacked against him, obviously the ankle injury, and he still beat Joe Burrow and Cincinnati. He reminded everybody why he is one of the most popular players in the hobby today. And as you can guess, since that performance on Sunday, his cards have been flying off the shelves. They have been selling rapidly on eBay. His prices are moving up. Let's take a look here in Market Movers. We've got 5 of his rookie cards on the screen. These are all from 2017. Optic Base PSA 10, Prism Silver PSA 10, Optic Hollow PSA 10, Donruss Base PSA 10, Optic Red and Yellow, a bit of a color match there with the Kansas City Chiefs, all in PSA 10. Let's look at these by percentage. And what's really interesting, guys, is this is over the last 7 days. I want to show you the last week in terms of what's happened. And you can see the game was right here. You can see how these have popped off over the last couple of days since that game occurred. And I think you'll probably see more of that over the next few days. You'll see that graph continuing to go up and up. Some of these are already up a lot. That Optic Base card, one of the least expensive cards here, is up the most from a percentage standpoint. It's up 57% in 7 days. The most recent sale of that card was almost $1,500. That card sold for $938 just 7 days ago. You want to talk about a $550 profit in 7 days? You could have had that if you bought the right Patrick Mahomes cards a week ago and sold them today. Let's go to basketball for the number 2 spot today, and let's go with Rui Hachimura, a player who is now back in the card spotlight again. Now, some of Rui's rookie cards were actually pretty popular back in 2019, but then he was kind of in a card purgatory with the Washington Wizards. He was putting up okay numbers, but nothing spectacular. And of course, Washington is a team that doesn't get a lot of attention. But when you get traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, and when the spotlight goes back on you, you can bet that your card prices are suddenly going to rise as a result. And that is the case right now, at least, with Rui's cards. Let's look at some of his rookie cards here in Market Movers. These are all from 2019. His 2019 Optic Base, Optic Blue Velocity, Prism Base, and Prism Silver in PSA 10. And you can see on the graph how all of these have moved in a positive direction over the last 30 days. All of these cards are up somewhere between about 44% all the way up to 317% for his Optic Blue Velocity card. Now, granted, 30 days ago, that card was selling for just $12 in PSA 10 condition, but hey, it's now selling for $50 in PSA 10 condition. So go look in your bins of old basketball cards from 2019 or search the dollar bins at the next card show you go to. See if you can find any Rui cards in there because they're worth a lot more today than they were a few weeks ago. It's time for today's number one card, but before I give it to you, let me remind you that all of the charts and graphs you see in today's episode are from Market Movers. And you can now take Market Movers on the go with our brand new, newly redesigned mobile app that we launched just a couple of weeks ago. It is awesome. It is as good as your experience here on the web as well. And you can try it all for free for 7 days. Just go to sportscardinvestor.com and click on Market Movers in the main menu bar. Then use promo code TRIAL for 7 days free of Market Movers. All right, guys, for the number one card today, we're going to football. We're going with Jalen Hurts. Was there really any question? He has been in the top 5 a number of times this season, but he has landed himself here again and today in the number one spot. And why not? Philadelphia had an absolutely dominant performance over the weekend, destroying the 49ers. And of course, you have to feel for the 49ers. Brock Purdy went down with injury early in the game. Things didn't quite go right for them. Maybe if things had played out a little differently, maybe the 49ers would have at least made that a very competitive game, but they didn't. And the bottom line is that Jalen Hurts has led Philadelphia to the Super Bowl. And for football card investors who have been investing in Jalen Hurts cards going back to the offseason, they have made a lot of money because his cards have been going up, 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 and now up some more. Let's take a look in Market Movers. I got 5 of his popular rookie cards on the screen from 2020. Donruss Base PSA 10, Prism Base PSA 10, Optic Hollow and Optic Base in PSA 10, and Mosaic Base in PSA 10. And this is just looking over the last 14 days with these cards. You can see they're all continuing that steady trend up over the last 14 days. Of course, a lot of these are all up a lot over the season as well. But just over the last 14 days, these cards are all up somewhere between 30% and 76% in 14 days. That Prism Base card in PSA 10 condition was $110 14 days ago. Most recently sold for $193. May continue to get a little hotter from here as we approach the Super Bowl. Of course, what happens after that? All is going to come down to how that Super Bowl is and what happens in that Super Bowl. But it is great to see how Hurts' cards have all gone wild this season, and they are continuing to go wild. It is going to be a fun couple of weeks watching the football card market. And of course, you can watch it every day by getting Market Movers. Once again, go to sportscardinvestor.com and click on Market Movers in the main menu bar. If you enjoyed the show, guys, give it a like, give it a subscribe, and we'll see you soon with our next one. Take care.